Hello and welcome to Early Shift. This is a work-in-progress visual novel, fairly new, but not that new, centering around a person who just moves to Florida, I think, for school or something, and they end up meeting this gator, crocodile, I don't know the difference, who works at a Shell gas station. And they form a connection with them, I believe. But that's pretty much all I know. I think that only like the first part of the very beginning is available. So yeah. That's pretty much all I know. Just know that it's a cute visual novel. There's like nothing like seriously weird going on with it, so yeah. It'll be a departure from what I usually read, but yeah. Anywho, so without further ado, let us begin Early Shift. Yes, last name. You pick your gender and your species. I know most people don't like being human, because it's like, oh, I'm reading a very visual novel, why do I want to be a human? It could be a canine. Is there a hyena? Yes, other. License approved. The sun is sharp as you roll down the road in your truck. You pull down the sun visor to cut some of the glare, but the light is low and blinding. It's barely past 7 in the morning, but the heat sits heavy, beating sweat along the skin of your forehead where it rests against the open window. The breeze rushing through the cab isn't much relief. It's thick and warm, smelling of hot asphalt and cut grass. You're driving along a 2-lane road, fan palms flanked aside, leaning against old iron fences, white paint long since flaked to rust. Houses slip by with their screen doors left ajar, laundry pinned to sagging lines hanging over dry lawns. Most of the town is still sleeping. You moved here for college about 2 months ago, but you're not yet used to the weather this far south. Back where you grew up, mornings were always slow and gray, even in the summer. It feels weird to get out without a fleece or overcoat. Just then the fuel light on the dash starts blinking at you. The needle is hovering dangerously low. God damn it. The campus is still a 40-minute drive, and your lecture starts at 8. You should have filled up yesterday coming home, but the line was long and you figured that it could wait. Now there's no putting it off. You pull into the Shell station at the end of the next road. The red and yellow sign hums, washed pale against the cloudless blue sky. The building itself is a single block of white stucco, paint weathered flat by the hard sun. 4 pumps stand in the lot. You roll up to one of the far right, cut the engine and climb down from your truck. Outside, the heat hits you immediately. Swiping sweat from your brow, you glance towards the station's glass door. Inside, you can see a figure slouched behind the counter. You cross the lot and push the door open. The bell overhead chimes. Inside smells of burnt coffee beans and stale, slushy syrup. The fluorescent light hums above you as you trail past the row of candies and soda, sweating in their plastic. Nothing looks particularly appetizing, but the throbbing in your head reminds you that you skipped your morning coffee. With class as early as this, caffeine feels less like a choice and more like a necessity. Truth be told, I hate coffee. I seldom ever drink this, too. I would just buy water. I kind of feel like you're going to dehydrate if you drink coffee. By the time that you approach the register, the guy at the front has finally lifted his head. His honey brown eyes widen like they've caught him doing something that he shouldn't be doing. Hey. Ooh, whoops. Just then his phone slips out of his hand. He catches it clumsily and stashes it beneath the register. Sorry about that. He takes a moment before he looks up at you and flashes you a bright toothed smile. Good morning, sir. Pump number? Up close, he's smaller than you expected, especially for an alligator. He's thin, or maybe his polo is just 2 sizes too big for him. It's hanging off of his frame. He also has a mullet. Brown curls brush loose at the nape of his neck. The scuffed name tag attached to his shirt reads Cooper. He's... You can't help but notice how cute he is. In a kind of scruffy small-town sort of way. His grin is missing some teeth and he looks like he hasn't had a proper meal in a week. You don't want to judge, but he's probably the kind of guy who spends his weekends at monster truck rallies and loitering at McDonald's parking lot. Still, somehow standing here, all fidgeting nervous and big brown eyes, that only makes him cuter. The morning sun filtering through the gas station windows is warm across his scales. An appealing sheen of summer sweat at his neck and jaw catches your eye. He blinks at you expectingly. What were you doing again? Oh, right, gas. 20 on pump 4. Oh, and this. You place the bottle of water down on the counter. Sure thing. He presses some buttons on the register and then scans the bottle in your hand. It comes with a free banana if you want it. Huh? You blink at him, confused. He looks slightly sheepish for some reason as he gestures to a basket near the till. Is it just the lighting or are his scales turning red? The water. It's a promo thing going on right now. Oh, sure. You pick one up and place it on the counter. Do you guys do this at every store? I think so. Uh-huh. You zone out a little until you notice that he's looking at you expectantly again. Sorry, what was that? Will that be cash or card? Oh, card, thanks. You dig for your wallet in your front pocket. When you pull it free, the leather sticks against your skin. You flip it open and tap your card through the sleeve. The machine beeps and flashes. Sorry, I'm not used to these early mornings yet. I'm still kind of asleep. You a student? Don't get too many folks in this early. Just truckers, really. Yeah, I got an 8 o'clock lecture. Oh, cool. I, dropped out last summer. I might go back next term, though. He laughs nervously, fidgeting with your receipt before handing it over. It's almost like he wants to keep talking to you, but isn't sure how. Probably just your imagination, though. Well, thanks. Have a nice day. You carry the water and the banana back out into the heat. The cold weight of the bottle in your hand makes you realize just how dry your throat feels. Your head is still throbbing faintly, but the water should help dull the headache for now. Maybe you should have got that coffee after all. Back at the pumps, you slide the nozzle free and set it into the gas tank. The smell of gasoline hangs thick in the warm air. You can feel sweat trickling down your back as you lean against the truck, watching the numbers tick up on the pump screen. When the meter finally stops, you set the handle back in place and cap the tank shut. Sliding back into the driver's seat, you notice your phone screen lighting up from where you left it in the center console. Picking it up, you notice you have a notification from Prowler. You thought to uninstall the app a month ago after that last mess of a date. Just seeing the icon makes you cringe. For a second, you consider opening it. Then you notice a time on your car dashboard. 7:23. Fuck, if I don't hurry, I'm gonna miss sign-in. You slide the keys into the ignition and pull out of the gas station. By the time that you get to college and make it to the lecture hall before the doors close, you've forgotten all about the notifications. The room is more than half full, with students hunched over their MacBooks or whispering quietly. You find a seat somewhere in the back and pull your laptop out of your bag and set it on the desk. From here, you can just make out the whiteboard and the faint hum of the projector. The professor's already talking, something about structure form. You open a new document on your laptop, cursor blinking in the middle of the screen. After 10 minutes, your mind starts to wander. You click between the tabs on your browser before trying to focus on filling the blank Word document on your screen. After an hour later, your stomach betrays you with an embarrassingly loud grumble. It's loud enough that the kid 2 seats down turns his head and flicks his eyes towards you. You duck your head and start digging through your bag for anything edible. Your hand brushes over something smooth. Confused, you pull out a banana. You've forgotten all about it. Half crunched beneath your desk, you peel it quietly and take a bite. Not too bad, you guess. For a gas station banana anyway. Just then, your phone vibrates in your pocket. This lecture has a strict no phones policy, but you're up in the back of the room, so you figure a peek couldn't hurt. Carefully, you slide your phone out of your back pocket and set it on the desk. Your lock screen glows faintly. You have another notification. When you swipe it open, your chest gives a weird little hitch. There are 6 Prowler notifications now, all from someone called Jet Fuel 86. You scan through the messages, almost able to hear that thick southern drawl in your head. This is the last place that you expected to be seeing your morning cashier. You're not quite sure if this is funny or totally unsettling. Clicking on his icon, you browse his profile. Jet Fuel 86. Hit me up if you like UFOs, fishing, or monster trucks. Yikes. It's exactly what you were expecting, though. You thumb through the photos quickly, half a bite of banana still sitting on the desk beside you. There's one of them holding up a big catfish with both hands, another of him in an old band tee, grin crooked, hair a mess. The rest are the same kind of bathroom mirror selfies everyone posts. It's definitely the guy from the gas station. What was his name again? Cooper? You go back to the messages. How should you respond? Ignore. I'm sorry, but in real life, I would click ignore. I'd probably just say hey. I would, or maybe oh hi, but not like the winky face. I'm gonna regret saying this because like literally, this would be perfect minus a little winky face. You stalk all your customers or just the cute ones? Oh my god, that's worse. No, go back. Go back. Go back. I can't go back. Oh my god. A moment later, the typing bubble appears and disappears a few times before a message comes through. Oh, damn, you caught me. Nah, you're just, I don't know. Thought it was kind of random, lol. If you say so. You like the banana? Most people just leave them on the counter. Nah. It was good, actually. Save me from starving in this lecture right now. I forgot breakfast. Oh, Lamau. That's good then. So, do you live around here or just passing through? Cause like, most people I see at the Shell are either truckers, tourists, or old ladies buying their weekly Powerball. Let's stop being flirty. I'm just here for school. Oh dang, school, huh? That's cool. I remember you mentioned you had class. I moved down from up north, so I'm still getting used to everything down here. Oh dang, that makes sense. Guess that's why I didn't see you before. Sorry you had to move to such a shit town, lol. It's not too bad. At least it's warmer. So, what do you study? What do I study? Computer science? I'm doing computer science, coding, data, all that. Oh, sounds hard. Bet you're really good at it though. You must be smart as hell. Well, maybe. The typing bubble flicks again, disappears, appears a few more times before the message finally sends. Anyway, I'm done at 4 today. If you maybe wanna hang out? I'm not gonna be flirty because that feels disingenuous because I don't know what's going on with this guy. Yeah, sure. That could be fun. Where do you want to meet? The reply is almost instant. Isn't he supposed to be working? Maybe he's on a break? Then again, you're also supposed to be listening to your lecture. There's a little diner down the road from work. Cheap food, but not too bad, lol. Well, okay, I finish in a couple more hours, but I could be there at 4:30 maybe. Okay, sounds sweet. You put your phone back into the desk, face down, and glance at the clock above the lecture hall, still hours away. The lecture crawls on. The professor clicks through the PowerPoint slides, voice rising and falling like white noise. You try to take notes, but the words drift apart until all that's left are half-formed thoughts and disjointed keywords. None of it makes any sense. When it's finally over, you shoulder your bag and move with the tide of students spilling into the daylight outside. The rest of the afternoon continues to drag in slow motion. You check your phone once or twice between lectures, but you don't get any more messages, not even from your other friends. By the time that your last class lets out, it's past 3:30. You've picked up a new assignment and a bunch of homework that you can pretend that you'll finish tonight. Still, at least now you're finally free. Well, almost. You still got a hot date to look forward to. You cut across campus towards the science library. It's the quickest way to the exterior parking lot, and the bathrooms there are usually empty this late. The main floor is quieter than usual. A few people sit at long tables, hunched over a laptop, earbuds in. You head towards the back of the room. The bathroom is tucked off the side, half hidden behind a row of vending machines. A girl is leaning against the wall near the bathroom door. You vaguely recognize her from one of your classes. You think that she sat next to you a few times before, but you don't remember her name. She glances up at you when you approach. Hey. Hey. You push the door open with your shoulder and step inside. The fluorescent lights are harsh, buzzing above you. You step up to the far basin and turn the tap. It groans. The water is lukewarm and comes out in spurts. After a second, the pressure evens out. You watch it pool in your palms, overflowing before disappearing down the drain. You splash it on your face. Water drips down your neck and soaks the collar of your shirt. Exhaling slowly, you look up. Your reflection stares back at you in the mirror between molted spots of rust. You look tired. Your skin is tight from the heat, flakes of it peeling off along your arms. Sweat has glued your shirt to your back. Too bad you didn't bring a change of clothes. The diner's about a 35-minute drive, maybe 40 if the traffic's bad. You checked your phone's map app between classes a dozen times already. This whole thing's making you feel... nervous. You picture him standing there waiting for you, and your stomach twists. After that last prowler date a few weeks ago, you swore that you were done with this kind of thing. And yet here you are again. You're already half sure you're gonna screw it up. What if you run out of things to say? What if you have nothing in common? What if he doesn't even show up? You tell yourself to breathe, but the air feels thick, like it's pushing back. You grip the edge of the sink, waiting for the feeling to pass, but it doesn't. It's been so long since you've been on a date, especially with such a cute guy. Is this even a date? He seemed kind of unsure. Do you even want to be on a date? The lights buzz and your reflection seems to vibrate with it. You drag a hand over your face and pull your shirt straight, trying to look a little less like someone who spent all day trudging across a campus. That's better, sort of. You take one last look at yourself before heading out. From the corner of your eye, you catch sight of the girl. She's still there, but now she's checking her phone. She frowns before looking up at you. Do you know if the reading's due tonight or tomorrow? Tonight? It's due tonight. You think that's right. Oh, darn. I had a feeling that might be the case. Oh well, guess no sleep for me tonight then. Yeah. She picks up her bag near her feet and slings it over one shoulder, lingering for a second, like she might say something else. Well, see you tomorrow. Guess so. She nods once, then leaves down the hallway. Keys in hands, you step back out into the brightness of the late afternoon. The sun is already starting to dip. Your truck waits in the far corner of the lot, dust motes spinning in the air around it. You've got a long drive ahead of you, but hopefully it'll be worth it. You've been driving for a while now. The sun is still sinking down, not quite set, sky bruising behind silhouettes of palm trees. The road is lit by the glow of your truck's headlights and the final threads of sun slicing over it. You keep one hand on the wheel, the other resting on the open window frame. Warm wind is pressing against your arm. The radio hums with static. For some reason, you've never been able to get a good signal on the stretch of road between college and your house. Still, it doesn't bother you much. It's a soft accompaniment to the steady rumble of the engine. In a way, it reminds you of rain, which reminds you of home. You're half tempted to close your eyes, but the headlights of a passing car reminds you why that would be a terrible idea. You're nearly there anyway. Up ahead, neon flickers against the afternoon sky. Sunny's Diner. You've never been before, but it seems like the only place open in this odd hour between lunch and dinner. What do they call that again? Dinner? That can't be right. You pull into the parking lot. There are a few other cars there already, a mix of dusty pickups and old sedans. You kill the engine and step out. The neon open sign above the door flickers, casting the entrance in a wash of red and blue light. Through the blinds, you can see a handful of people sitting hunched in leather booths. The place looks old, not exactly run down though. Just more like the entire building and maybe its inhabitants were lifted from another era. Paint sloughs off one side like sunburnt skin, revealing weathered wood paneling beneath. Just then you see him. Cooper stands out in front, shifting his weight awkwardly from one foot to the other. He's traded his work polo for a plain white t-shirt, like his uniform. It's too big at the sleeves, but the cotton looks soft and well worn. He looks up as you make your way across the car park. Hi. Hey. I'm kinda surprised you showed up. Oh, really? Yeah. You were being so nice that I thought you were messing with me. Well, I'm here. Yeah, you are. He laughs once awkwardly, then gestures towards the door. They got a raw pie here, if you're into that. I might be. You follow him in. Inside reeks of a weird mix of fryer grease and potpourri. Ceiling fan turns lazily overhead, doing nothing but blowing the warm air around. The decor is a hodgepodge of yard sale finds. No two tables or chairs are alike. China plates, old road signs, and posters with slogans like, My cow died, so I don't need your bowl. Cover the walls. This is the kind of place that can only be kept alive by locals. Two coyotes nurse coffees in the corner booth. There's an old fox in a yellow dress working the counter. The vomit-colored tiles near the door leads to similarly looking carpet by the booths. Cooper leads you to the far side of the diner, to a booth with a parking lot view. You sit down and the red vinyl groans beneath you. Part of the seat cover is held together with the strips of duct tape. You're careful not to let your knees touch the underside of the table. You just know that you'll probably come away covered in old chewing gum. He flips open one of the plastic menus, though you get the feeling that he knows it pretty well already. At that moment, the fox comes over. Get your water to start? Sure, thanks. She nods and walks off. So... He stares at you expectantly. You're not sure how to start or what to say. You barely even know the guy, and barely is kind of an understatement. He stares for a moment before smacking his forehead. You alright? Sorry, I just realized that I never asked your name. God, I'm already making a mess of this, huh? It's fine. It's... Sorry. I'm Cooper. Yeah, I know. Huh? How? I read it on your name tag this morning. Oh, duh. Right. So, what are you having? You take this moment to flip through the menu. It is straight out of a Comic Sans, clip art design hell. The laminated pages are sticky at the corners, smudged with chicken grease and maple syrup. Between the menu items are local ads. AAA Bail Bonding Agency. Courteous and confidential, 24 hours. New Life Baptist Church welcomes you this Sunday. Still, all you can eat fried chicken for $10 and change is a bargain. I always get the pancakes. They're ugly as hell and usually burnt, but sometimes it's the good kind of burnt. That's a weird endorsement. Yeah, well, sometimes even stuff that sucks can be kind of good. You're one funny guy. You laugh. He relaxes a little, shoulders loosening. Yeah, maybe. The waitress returns with a notepad and drops off 2 glasses of water before moving to hover her pen over her pad. You two ready? Yeah, buttermilk pancakes with extra syrup, a side of bacon and fries. And for you? I kind of do want fried chicken right now, so... I'll have the fried chicken. Sure thing, hon. When she left, you raise a brow at him. You eat fries with your pancakes? Hell yeah, and the syrup's the bridge that connects them. That sounds like a war crime. Nah, it's a democracy. Do you mean diplomacy? Yeah, sure, whatever, college boy. The diner hums around you. You catch your reflection in the window, tinted gold from the outside. Beyond the glass, the neon windows, sunny diner, pylon sign flickers to life, burning bright against the dusk. You turn your attention back to Cooper. He's looking down at his hands, turning his glass around its bottom rim in slow circles. Sorry, I'm kind of bad at this. At what? You know, talking to people I don't already know. Most folks around here I've known since, like, 3rd grade, and they already know who I am. Or think they do, anyway. He's still looking down at the tabletop. You find yourself wanting to say something to reassure him or cheer him up. But before you can, he looks up again, expression bright. So, you go to that college, right? The university, yeah. You said that you dropped out last semester? Cooper suddenly looks away, embarrassed. Did I say last semester? I think I might have meant 4 or some odd years ago. Oh. I studied mechanical engineering for like 3 weeks. Thought that I'd end up fixing planes or building rocket ships or something. But turns out that I'm not even good at fixing cars that already exist. He looks a little sheepish. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe you just didn't find whatever you were looking for. You think that I didn't find it working at a gas station? I mean, not a brag or nothing, but I get to spend my day huffing diesel and sweeping dead bugs out of the ice freezer. He grins at you. You give him a half smile. He really is kind of... weird. No, I'm just kidding. Funny. After another 20 minutes of small talk, you'll learn that he does in fact go to weekend monster truck shows, but he prefers a Burger King to McDonald's. You really never been to a rally before? I can't say that I have. Damn, really? You're missing out. There's one every summer out in Orlando. Gravedigger came through last year. Launched off this huge dirt jump. Whole damn truck went vertical. Dirt flying everywhere. Best day of my life. I think I actually cried. You cried over a truck? I only cry when I take mine to the shop. Gravedigger's not just a truck, he's a legend. When he lands, you feel it in your ribs, like it's thunder. You're really selling this. You get it if you were there. Finally, the waitress comes back with your fried chicken, a big stack of pancakes and a huge plate of fries, and a generous pot of coffee. The food's not bad, you guess. Cooper is clearly enjoying his meal. There is syrup everywhere. After several huge bites, he looks up at you, cheeks stuffed with food. So, what do you do for fun? Like, when you're not studying or doing whatever it is that college people do. You mean like, what are my hobbies? Yeah, exactly, hobbies. He cleans his chin with one palm, like he isn't really interested in the answer, but you can hear his tail flicking faintly against the seat. You think for a moment. I'm guessing that this means fun as in like between two people without their clothes. I like being outside mostly. Just getting lost, driving nowhere, hiking, that kind of thing. That's pretty cool. I used to do that a lot. Before gas got stupid expensive. I guess out of anyone, you'd know how expensive it's gotten. Yeah, no kidding. Half my paycheck goes straight back into the pump. So, where's the best place you've gone? There's a spot upstate with old train tracks. The bridge is pretty rickety, but the view's perfect. The whole forest underneath, just trees and river all the way down. Sounds dangerous. That's what makes it fun. He just grins at you. How about you? Go outside much? I used to go fishing all the time when I was a kid. There's a creek that runs behind my folks' place. Used to sit out there with a line in the water for hours. I still go out sometimes when I can rope my buddy Keith into coming along. Keith doesn't sound like the outdoors type. Nah, not really. Says he gets enough outdoors time at work. Usually prefers sitting inside with AC and watching a movie. Well, you need someone to come fishing with you, just let me know. I'll definitely keep that in mind. For a while, you just talk. Small stuff. Stories about bad customers, boring professors, how his TV only gets 3 channels in the summer because of the heat, but that's plenty. How you can't believe anyone can live in a place that has such terrible traffic all the time. The conversation feels easy, even when it dwindles. He laughs too loud at every joke he makes. You catch yourself watching the way he snorts, twitches when he's thinking. How his eyes keep flitting towards you like he's making sure that you're still listening. Somewhere in between, it starts to feel natural, comfortable. By the time that you notice, the coffee pot's nearly empty and 2 hours have vanished. Outside, the sky's turned the color of lapis. You ever been to the Silver Dollar? The what? It's a lake. Formed natural, but it's totally round. If you fly over it, they say that it looks like a silver coin. That's weird. I go out there sometimes. Don't look like much from the shore, but on clear nights, you can look up and see the Milky Way. Sounds nice. You should come sometime. It's better with company. We can go there tonight if you want. What, like right now? Sure, it'll be fun. You're serious? Yeah. He rubs the back of his neck before looking up at you. There is a flicker of something behind his bright, syrupy eyes, but he turns to the window before you can see it properly. When he looks back at you, he's pulling his wallet out of his pocket. He fishes out some bills and places them onto the check the waitress brought over earlier. You follow suit. You can follow me if you want, or I can ride with you. Up to you. I mean, regardless of how nice the date is going, I kind of feel like it would be better to have your own car just in case. It's only 10 minutes drive, so you figure that it would be easier to just follow him in his car. Alright then, just try not to get lost. He jogs off towards his car. You wait a few seconds before pulling out behind him, headlights sweeping over the diner's parking lot as a neon sign flickers out behind you. The old stretch of road between the diner and the lake is long and dark, unwinding under the beam of your headlights. All you can see are the faint shadows of trees zipping by and trailing red glow of Cooper's headlights in front. You roll down the window for air, but the breeze is thick. The night smells of pine and hot asphalt. You grip the wheel loosely and mind drifting. It's a nice drive out here, you think. Quiet. You think about everything that brought you here to this moment. If you hadn't answered that message, you hadn't said yes, you have gone straight home instead. Everything that made it so that you're sitting here right now. You wonder if everything is really that deterministic. That you couldn't get some other output from the same sequence. Or even if running through every permutation, you wouldn't still be here alone in the dark. Your thoughts drift to Cooper, driving ahead of you. Outwardly, I would be saying, I just want to see the lake, but yeah, sure, hanging out with him would be fun. Even if it is just making a friend and not, doing more than that. There's something easy about talking to him. He's a little rough around the edges, sure, but he's goofy and earnest. You can't remember the last time that you just enjoyed being around someone. It's a nice feeling, even if you're not sure what it means yet. Before you can think too much about it, you notice the car in front has slowed. It pauses briefly before taking a turn onto a narrow dirt road. The path to the lake is nothing official. It's a narrow dirt shoulder between two unlit houses where the pine trees have thinned out. You can see the lake through them. There's an old chain link fence with a "No Trespassing, Property of Camp Blanding" sign half hanging torn from its posts. Someone's cut a hole in the fence wide enough to slip through. Beyond it, the dirt slopes down towards the water. Beneath the dark sky, you can just make out pale sand and cypress knees rising out of the shallows. Come on, this way. You hesitate just long enough for a gust of wind to rattle the fence. Trespassing isn't exactly how you pictured spending your evening, but you're already here, so you figure what the hell. You duck down and follow him through, careful not to tear your clothes on the cut wires. On the other side, wait to brush your legs as you step into the open. Soon you're standing a little distance from the water's edge. The lake is so still that it almost looks painted on, a sheet of black glass reflecting the starless sky. The whole world feels suspended. Cooper's beside you, hand in his pockets, sneakers scuffing at the sands. The wind flutters through his shirt against his side. For a moment, he looks strangely small against the expanse of water. Kinda nice, huh? Yeah, it's peaceful. Shame that we can't see it from above. Yeah. You come out here often? Used to come out here when I was a kid, back when it was open to the public. I ain't really come out here much nowadays. He scrunches down, leaning forward and running his hands through the sand, letting the grains filter slowly between his fingers. You know, my pop told me the army built this lake. Said that they flooded a whole town under here, streets, houses, even the church. He pauses a moment thinking, dusting his hands on the back of his jeans. He gets back to his feet. Then I learned that it was actually made this way like 1,000,000 years ago. Formed by a giant sinkhole, or maybe a meteor, or maybe even aliens. I think the story changed every time he told it. Still, a cool, nice story though. I guess. So, what's the actual deal? With the lake? Dunno, it's all private property now. Half of it belongs to the military, and the other half is owned by rich snowbirds. Snowbirds? People would just come down here when it gets too cold up north. Sounds annoying. Yeah, it is. The summer night air feels light. There is a breeze blowing across the water and over your skin. It feels good. You hear Cooper fidgeting beside you. Man, it's so quiet out here. Ain't even late yet or nothing. I'm kinda used to the quiet. Oh? Not a lot of noise where I'm from. Gets dark early and stays dark. Snows real heavy in the winter. I don't know if I could stand it. When it gets too quiet, it just makes me want to yell real loud. Like, hey, I'm still out here. His hands slap over his mouth, brown eyes saucer wide. Shit, sorry, that was dumb. We ain't really supposed to be here. I ain't want to get you in trouble. You grin at him. It's okay. This is fun. So... So you grew up here? In Florida, I mean? Not exactly. Grew up in Louisiana. Moved here when I was like 8 years old. Oh yeah? What brought you out this way? Dad's from here originally. Mom said that I'd fit in better, you know, with my own people. Your own people? Oh, nothing. He looks away quickly and then, before you can ask anything more, he changes the subject. You know, I was actually the first one in the family to go to college. For 3 weeks. Yep, my grandpappy was so proud of me. They all were. That's impressive. Next generation might even finish a degree. Wouldn't that be something? Your mouth quirks into a little smile. So, you ever miss it? Louisiana? Cooper shrugs, digging his hands into his pockets. Oh, I barely even remember it now. Been here for so long, I'm basically Florida through and through. Sunshine, sawgrass, and all that. I don't think that I could tell even if you weren't. It's actually nice to be outdoors for a change. I feel like I spent most of my time either at college or in my car. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm either at work or asleep. Sometimes both. Multitasking, huh? I got skills. You'd be surprised how fast you can doze off between gas customers. I believe you. He grins at you. So, you've been working at the gas station long? About 3 or something years now. It's fine, I guess, but sometimes I wonder if I shouldn't be doing something else with my life. But then I remember that I don't really know what else would be. Yeah, that's relatable. You got it good though, college and all that. You'll probably go somewhere. Me, I'll probably be working there till I'm dead or worse. What's worse than being dead? I don't know, getting old? You snort a laugh. I saw your Prowler profile. I know how old you are. You're... I don't remember. About the same age as me? You're actually about the same age as me. Huh? Aren't you a college student? Yeah, but I'm doing a graduate degree. Oh, shoot. You really are smart as hell. Now, I really don't know what you're doing hanging out with someone like me. He flushes and looks away, rubbing the back of his neck. You're really not half dumb yourself. Yes, I am. No, wait, I mean... Thanks? Sorry. I say stupid stuff when I'm nervous. You're nervous? A little. He scratches behind his neck, looking out at the lake again. You follow his gaze. The water is dark, but you can see a dark shadow of the two of you reflected faintly, close but not touching. I think this is too forward, and even this is too forward. Like, you're just getting to know each other, like... Because in my book, that does not constitute physical touch yet. Really nice out tonight, huh? Yeah. There's no need to say anything at all. Your focus shifts to the view before you. The lake is too wide to see its full shape from the shore, but it seems round. On the opposite side, the tree line curves evenly around the perimeter. The water is still and dark, rimmed by a thin ring of pale sand that is scattered with driftwood. The air tastes like iron and algae. It settles wetly on your skin. Cooper shifts beside you. Just then you feel knuckles brushing the back of your hand. Cooper slides his palm beneath yours and slips his fingers between yours. What are you doing? I would actually literally go, what are you doing? Oh, this is awkward. This is really awkward. Oh, I want to say this because it's awkward and I feel like this would not make it awkward, but this is awkward. I literally just said that I want to enjoy the silence and now it's like, hey, so should we hold hands? You can feel the heat radiated off of him. His palm is rough but warm and you don't pull away. His pulse is pounding. You can feel it through his skin. I'm glad you came. Yeah. Me too. He gives your hand a soft squeeze. Out of the corner of your eye, you swear you see his scales turn pink. There is a beat of silence before he speaks again. I don't have much experience with this kind of thing. I don't mind taking it slow. Honestly, that makes me feel better. A lot better. I don't want you to think that I was a total loser. I don't. You stay there like that for a while. The world narrows to nothing but the soft lap of water against the sand and the distant buzzing of cicadas. The silence feels like it could just stretch out forever. Hey, what's that? What's what? You're confused at first, but then you follow his gaze and look up. What is that? It's unlike anything that you've ever seen. A bloom of light swells behind the clouds. Faint at first, but then growing, pressing down. The whole sky seems like it's straining. Thin, red vines start crawling through the cloud's cover. They spread across the underside of the clouds like magnesic tree roots. It looks like a lightning storm, but it has no sound. In fact, there's no sound anywhere at all. The sky splits open around them, torn open as the light roots drag the clouds apart. From the opening, strands of light spill down towards the lake, stretching thinner and thinner until they're barely visible filaments trailing like jellyfish tendrils. For a moment, everything feels like it's expanding. The trees, the air, the breath in your lungs. When the light finally touches the surface, the water ignites. There is a burst of white so bright that you throw up an arm to try and block it. What the hell is... You hear Cooper beside you, but you can't see anything. The silhouette of the far side tree line has been burnt into your eyes. Dizzily, you rub a hand over your face and try to look at him. Everything is hazy. You feel that before you can hear it. Something unseen is moving. As you look at Cooper through the halos in your eyes, the air bends around him. A heavy pressure drapes itself over his shoulders, and then the winds tight around his neck. His shirt tightens and then wrenches backwards as if caught by an invisible fishhook. Cooper! You reach for him, catching his wrist long enough to feel the heat of his skin before it's torn away. He's yanked onto his back, sneakers sliding in the sand as he's dragged through it. And then he's gone, swallowed by the trees. You can barely see, but you stumble after him. You take a step and then your foot catches and you're falling. The lake and sky bleeds into one another as darkness rushes up to meet you. You're hit with the sudden smell of burnt coffee beans. Fluorescent lights hum above you. Huh? In front of you, the guy behind the counter looks up from his phone. His honey brown eyes widen like you've caught him doing something that he shouldn't be doing. Oh, shit. Just then his phone slips out of his hand. He catches it clumsily and stashes it beneath the register. Sorry about that. I didn't see you there. He takes a second before flashing you a bright, toothed smile. Good morning, sir. Pump number? What the fuck? How did I get back here? To be continued. So, that was the start of Early Shift. And I suppose that from what we can gather, it's going to be one of those stories where it's going to be like repeating and then I guess depending on what you're doing, it may or may not lead into a different end. And it kind of looks like Cooper was abducted by aliens or something. And then as soon as that happened, you were returned back to the where the story begins. And yeah. I'm wondering if there is a different thing that you can do where you just sort of like tell him like, I'm not interested. You just sort of like kind of brush him off. Or what happens if you decide not to hold his hand or something? I don't know. That's that's for you guys to figure out when you play it yourself. Or when there's an update and then I just, tell you what happened. Anyways, but yeah, so what did you think? Write it down in the comments, and thank you all for watching/listening. If you would like to play Early Shift or stay up to date with whatever it is that's going on with it, you can do so by going down to the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download and play the game yourself. I don't know if they have any form of support like a Patreon or a Ko-fi, but if they do, that will be linked down in the description. And if you would like to support the channel, you can become a channel member, which gives you earlier access to these videos as they're being scheduled. Usually between a week or a week and a half or 2 weeks, depending on how busy I am. And it's like a nice way to show support for the channel. You go money on a monthly basis, catch. And then I go, hey, thank you. Here are some of the videos that I have scheduled. Watch them. So yeah. If you can't do that, you can, donate through Ko-fi. It doesn't give you early videos, but like it gives you my appreciation. And there's also Throne. So yeah. Also, I think YouTube has like these channel comment things where you can like leave money. But yeah, anyways, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.